With that said, our guest speaker today, he doesn't need an introduction because he's a powerhouse in his own right. I love when he came on and talked about, hey, you got a minute? Let me show you something. You got a minute? Let me show you something. I think that was something so powerful. A lot of people have adopted that because of him. And I want to thank him for getting in the business. Not only that, but being our guest speaker to kick the year off. Matter of fact, he was our first call this year, last Monday before last. And with that said, as you notice, the flyer says Jumpstart January. The co-founder of Crew, him and his lovely wife, Mr. Curtis Evans.
Well, I'm glad to be on the call with you. Hopefully today we'll learn some more. We'll talk about some things that are going to be important to you. So I need everyone to have something to write with, to write a few notes down. A lot of times if you write or write in some notes, it helps you to retain your information. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. When we started today, I called and called Jabri, and I got a video I want you guys to watch. And that video from Mr. Provenzano is going to make a lot of difference in how you think and what we have our hands on. Now, I was all set to go, and then Al put this music on, this Michael Jackson on. Now, that's one of my favorite entertainers, I was sitting here thinking, and the song was Man in the Mirror, and it's true. The person's holding you up, you're looking at them. When you go brush your teeth, wash your face, you're looking at the person that's holding you up. Because we only have two simple things to do. We just got to pick people. I mean, the company pays people to help you to grow. There is a system in the company where someone's paid to help you to grow. I mean, there are people in the company that are set. They want you to grow, and they're going to get paid well to help you to grow through the comp plan. And so what you do is peak people. I mean, your biggest job is peaking, and then edifying the person that's going to talk, because we don't really need you to talk a lot. Now, if you're really worried about that, then show the video. And I would say show the video first, and then maybe, because most of us, we put our foot in our mouth when we try to say something. So just say, listen, I got a guy, Bill Smith, that knows all about this. He's making a lot of money, and I really want you to talk to him. I don't want to mess it up, okay? What's a good time for you? I really don't want to mess it up. What's a good time for you? And they say 3 o'clock. There's somebody will be available at 3 o'clock today to do that, okay? To say a few words to him. Then it gives you some time to talk to Al or to Julian or to Mr. Randolph or Lurleen or whoever you have that's going to be doing a little bit of peeking the person and helping the person out, okay? They just need to hear from someone else. So that's our work, okay? So let's talk about our work. Our work is simply to ask questions or say something nice about someone. I mean, be sincere. I like the way you handled that customer a minute ago. You would do well in our business. I mean, if there's somebody you don't know. And for your family, once or twice a year, send a note out to all of them, a video out to all of them so that they'll know it. I love it. So 4 or 5 years from now, you'll be able to, when they come to you, oh, you never said nothing to me about that. You never called me back. You can always say, oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. So once a year, twice a year, just bump your family members again, because it's going to be sickening to see them walk on stage and you didn't say anything to them. So go ahead and do that. Put it down in your calendar. But that's our big job. Somebody else that's been in the business longer than we have is going to help them to come in, because getting the customer is something that we do. Getting the customer is something that I do. Getting the customer is something that Diane does, Belinda does. That's something that that we do, okay? But putting an IBO in the business is a team sport. Putting an IBO in the business is a team sport. It's not I talked to him one time, I signed him up. It's a team sport. They need to see somebody else besides you. So don't put that pressure on yourself. It's just something that has to happen. They heard about it from you, and someone else that you edified closed them out. And really, they're going to come to business with you, so you're going to be working with them. But does everybody understand that? So sometimes we take something so simple and we make it so hard. And it's not. And that's the reason we won't call anybody, because in our minds, it's hard. If something happens, what's going to happen? You picked them, they weren't interested. You picked them, they weren't interested. You picked 10, 20 people, they weren't interested. So we got to get that out of our mind. We got to don't care. We got to have a certain gene in us that don't care what the response is going to be, because if you care, then you care. Okay. And so that's just what we got to do. So that's the work that we have to do. And the reason I brought that up is because I saw the video there. I listened to the song. And one of the first concerts that I went to, I'm old, so I was overseas. I was in London when the Beatles came out. So we were over there watching them in the United States. It was kind of weird. Okay. And in 1971, my mama made my brother and I take my sisters to a concert because they were really young and we were young too, but we were old enough to get in there and take them in there. And the people that were singing were the Jackson Five. They played in Columbia, South Carolina. And they came out on stage, the place was about half full. It was a lot of people there now, it was a lot of people. And this little kid, about 9, 10 years old, was running around on stage singing, people were screaming and yelling to the top of their lungs. I was like, made my brother looked at me, who's that guy? The girl, my sisters knew who they were. You know, we didn't know who they were. So we had to take them, and Michael did a great job, and Jackie and Jermaine and all of them, they just turned it out. It was really, really, really a good show. Well, 4 years later, I went back in 1975, and they canceled the show. We were staying outside, they canceled the show. They didn't sell enough tickets. Now, the other show was just a killer, but they canceled the show because they didn't sell enough tickets. So I didn't get to see them the second time, okay? Then in 1987, I went back again to a town called Knoxville, Tennessee. Now, by that time, Michael broke off from the group. He was doing his own thing. And then I think they were on the stage with Princess Diana. A lot of movie stars were there. And he sold out Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. Now, the University of Tennessee is the Vols, I think it is. That stadium holds 100,000 people. 100,000 people. We paid some crazy amount of money to get in, right? 100,000 people were in there that night. Thursday, well, we went Saturday night. So they were there Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. So anytime you start thinking about running out of people, just think about that, okay? From a guy that nobody wanted to see 8, 9 years before that, to selling out that. But what happened? Who was the problem? The man in the mirror. The man in the mirror. He made some adjustments and kept going. Did he quit music? Did he start playing football? Did he quit music and start playing baseball? No, he kept on doing his thing. And now I'm gonna tell you, you guys don't understand what I'm saying. At a Super Bowl, you can get about 100,000 people at a Super Bowl. But you can't get them there tomorrow night, and you can't get them there the next night, and you can't get them there the next night. You get the biggest entertainers there are in the world today. They're great entertainers, and they can sell at that place. How many nights? One night. You come back tomorrow, ain't nobody gonna be there. Nobody's gonna be there. So he did it 4 nights in a row and went around the world doing it. Okay, around the country doing it. I lose. Okay, yeah. So in our business, we may be at a spot where nobody wants to hear us. We may feel like nobody wants to hear us. We may get to that point and think maybe. No, look at the man in the mirror. You keep forging forward. This thing, when it blows up, it's going to blow up. Now, last week, there were some announcements made about a new position called regional coordinator. Now, what is a regional coordinator? What's the benefits of the regional coordinator? Okay. A regional coordinator is going to need 200 points to become a regional coordinator. Now, since Julian and Al and myself and some others on this call have been in the business, there has never been an incentive to get to 200 points. No incentive, nothing. You got to 200 points, you still were ETL, and you're still popping out $50 bills until another ETL popped in. So that means a lot of people quit between 30 points and 600 points. Somewhere in there, we don't know why, something happened and they couldn't see it, okay? And they didn't sell very many tickets, and so they decided to put the guitars up and drums and all that, and we're not playing music no more because we can't sell any music anymore. But that's not the spirit that this team has, the people on this call have. We're going to sell out 100,000 people over and over and over and over. That's what we can do because there's that many people in the world. There's a lot of people in this world. And so with that being said, I want you to understand that it takes that kind of spirit. It takes that kind of mindset to get to where you got to go. If you say in your mind, Kenny tries to tell us this, if you say in your mind that when I get to $10,000 a month, I'm going to quit and chill out, you'll never get to $10,000 a month. Because your mindset is bad, okay? Our mindset has to be more. Now, we weren't taught that way. We were taught that's greedy. That's selfish. You're looking out, but no, what are we going to do with the money is what we got to say. What we're going to do with the money when we get it. If your idea of doing big things with the money to help other people out, then you need a lot of money. Okay. You need a lot of money to do what you need. Most of us don't need a lot of money to do what we need, but we need a lot of money to help out a lot of other people. Okay. If you want to help out the homeless or battered women, a place for battered women, or if you want to help out kids or children that have disabilities, whatever your goal is, you're gonna need a lot of money for that. So I want you to have a big wow list. And I got some things here that I want to talk about. First of all, I want to talk about your list, okay? Your list, okay? Now, I like going to musical concerts. I haven't done a lot of that, or at least lately, because of this COVID thing that's going around. So, but when you go to a concert, if you're just thinking about what you need, well, if you went in there to see a band or a group of someone place in live music, which I love live music, then you could be in the nosebleed area. Y'all know what the nosebleed area is? That means your head is against the back of the rafter up here. You're looking down because you have to, okay? That's the nosebleed area, okay? But there's a big difference between a nosebleed area and sitting down up front, sitting on the front row, okay? Or let's go if you like sports, football, basketball, baseball, let's go football. What about playing football and you're in the stadium? Would you like to be in the stadium, which is great, or would you like to be in a box? Has anybody ever been in a box before? Okay. If you've been in a box before, you'll know that you really enjoy football. Why aren't you in the box? The reason you're not in the box is because, oh, I don't need all that. That's not true. Get in the box. Okay. If you're going to watch football, go at the highest level. Tennis, baseball, basketball, go to the highest levels. Let's go on with travel. You travel, what room are you going to stay in? A suite, a really nice room, or I'm down the street, somewhere around the corner, down the block. It's kind of, I got to take a gun to get home after the, but you can tell everybody you were where, there. So why not stay in a really nice room? Sometimes we cheat ourselves. What about food? We eat food every day. I know I like to eat food. Everyone else likes to eat food. What about the food? The type of food we eat, depending on the type of money that we make, depends on the type of food. Okay. Now, if you think food is food, you're wrong. I want you to go to a regular store and take a look at some food. Okay. And then I want you to go to Whole Foods and look at some food. Now, the prices are expensive. And the only people that's worried about that are what? People that don't have money. So when we talk about money, let's not make it a bad word. Okay. And it might be a bad word depending on how you were raised. And I was raised that way. By the time you're 7, you could think it's a bad word. Okay, you're being greedy. You're not. It's crazy. But you're taking in food to make your body sounder. You're getting better sleep because you're not worried about bills. Okay, you're having a healthier lifestyle. What is wrong with that? You think there's a God in the heavens that says, "Oh no, why aren't you eating bad food like everyone else? Go eat the bad food." No. But we got to want it. Okay. It tastes better. Trust me, it tastes better. Okay. And it tastes even better if you go to a restaurant and somebody knows they're doing it, is preparing it for you. Okay. So what I want you to do is want more, because there's going to be a little need of greed here. I need you to get a little greedy. Okay. Because sometimes we can be so comfortable. And I'm talking about myself. Okay. I'm not here preaching. Okay. Sometimes you can be more comfortable. I drive a Prius. And I have an 87 Porsche. I love that Porsche, my 4th car. Okay. And a few weeks ago, I got a chance to go to Atlanta to drive some race cars around the track, or a couple of months ago, rather. And it was fun. It was $1,000 for a car for an hour and a half. But I had a professional driver with me. It was fun. Okay. Okay. So let's be a little greedy. Okay. Somebody said, well, you could take that $1,000. No, I couldn't. I took that $1,000 and did exactly what I wanted to do with it. Okay. And I want you to be able to do that. Okay, and it might be with a car around a track. We're sliding around sideways, and they showed us how it felt on a icy surface, on a wet surface. We learned to listen to tires and oversteer, understeer, all that. I'm not going to bore you with that, but that's my thing. Your thing. What is your thing? Okay, what is your thing? What is your thing? And think about it. Is it playing a guitar? Is it learning another language like Al's doing right now? What is your thing? Is it learning to fly a plane like he was on last week, Jordan Adler. Okay, he's learning to fly a helicopter. What is your thing? let's get out of the box. The box is, we're in the box. Okay, so let's get out of that box. Now, I'm gonna show a video here in a little bit. Now we'll talk about education too. Now, education is very important. I was fortunate to get a really, really good education. Just because my dad was in the military, we went to some really good schools around the world. So I was very, 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 very fortunate. Everybody didn't get that. But one thing you'll find out, if you get your kids and your grandkids a really good education, early on, they'll find out what they want to do. Early on, they'll learn. That's the advantage of education. You can find out what you want to do early on. So someone else might be 60, 70, 50, 30 and don't know what they want to do. And if you got a good education, you'll find out early on, I really don't like that. And you'll find what you like to do. And if you can do that and get trained by somebody that knows what they're doing, you're helping your grandchildren and your children out immensely, okay? Especially if they can become entrepreneurs in whatever it is they want to learn to do. So I hope this is helpful to some degree, because right now what I'm exploring is your why. Why? Why are you, what do you, I want you to want something so bad that you will pique people. See, if you don't want anything really bad, you won't pique people. You will make an excuse for saying something to Al Thomas, or you were going to sign up Jesse Harden. You didn't know that Jesse Harden knew Kenny Hartson, and she knew Juliana Lewis. Okay, you never piqued Jesse. You never piqued him, and so big things never happen. So we got to learn how to pique. This is something that we're going to learn to do. Now, there is advantages in this business. When you start off, you're going to start with some small things. Okay, I want you to think big, but work on something for next week. Work on something for next month, okay? Work on something for next week and for next month. Can this business we have right here solve a cell phone bill so we don't have a cell phone bill? Can this business solve an energy bill so we don't have a light bill no more? Yes. Can this business solve a car payment so we don't have a car payment no more, $400 or $500 a month? Yes. Can this business solve a problem of having no house payment again? No mortgage ever again, none, done. Can it do that? Yes. And that's because it's just getting started. How do I know that? I know that. How do I know that it's just getting started? They changed the compensation plan last week. Now, Al can tell you this. I want him to shake his head up and down if it's true, Al. As long as you knew it, it took 600 points to get to RD, right? And as long as you knew it, you had to be an RD, didn't you? You really needed to get to RD. If you want to do big in this business, you really, really, really need to get to RD. RD is magic. I want everybody on this call to want to get to RD, okay? The way you did that is you had 3 legs in old days with 200 points in each leg, but no one had any incentive to get there. They fixed that. Through magic, they fixed it, okay? So you're going to have more people coming into your business that's going to be pointed at what? RD? No, RC. Because that is something they can get, and they will get paid almost like an RD. It's $150. That's a lot of money, especially when 10 of those hit your system this month. It's $1,500 extra. Remember, you got your job, and you got $1,500. Remember, you got 10 IBOs in this month. You put in 2 or 3, 1 or 2. They put in 2 or 3, and they put in some. You got 10 IBOs. They all qualified. That's $1,500, right? As an RSC. Okay. So it's a big difference. That's 200 points versus 600 points. So this is what this business will do for you. Now, I did a lot of things. In the old days, I want Al to shake his head up and down. We used to have what? Every customer was 1 point. Everything was 1 point. So when you got 600 points, you had 600 customers in the system. Some of these customer points that we have now are 8 points. 8 points, Vivid, 8 points. IDCO for the year, 8 points. This can be done. 200 points is not bad. You put a few reps in there, point them at RC, and I promise you, the time is going to be shrunk. It won't take 20 years to get something done. This won't be a 20-year business. It won't be a 10-year business. It'll be a 5 or 4-year business. And when I say that, I mean, that's when it'll just start going nuts. Okay. So with that said, I want you to listen to a video. In the old days, when it was 1 point, 1 point for a customer, and it took 600 of those to become a RD. And I think at one point it was more than 600, but I'm gonna just use 600 as a standpoint, what you call it. So listen to this and listen to what she says this business will do for you. Could you play the video, Jabri?
For example, but all they're doing is selling something to make money to take care of their family. Do you know what I love about ACN? Is not only do we have the opportunity not just to make money, but to get wealthy, we have the opportunity to impact thousands of lives along the way. Don't you love that about ACN? I look at ACN as the greatest gift that we can give someone, don't you? And it should not ever become a grind. This is a gift. And if the more people that we expose that are in those scenarios, which are the majority of people today, and I don't care what career or what type of individual you're talking to, everybody's in the same boat. ACN is the most viable alternative for an opportunity that I know of that eliminates all the headaches and all the risks for people to want to do something great for their family. So this should not be a grind. This should be a gift that we give folks. And you should never forget the reason why that you got involved in ACN. It isn't just to sell products and services. Yes, that's great. But think about the people. I was talking to some business guy Monday, and I told him about, he was asking me about ACN, and I was telling him about that we have, tens of thousands of people that are doing well. We're in 24 countries. We have millions of customers that we have on our books, and we're creating residual incomes for all these families, and all these people are getting positively impacted because of this company. And I thought to myself, this is more than just numbers to us. It's about you as an individual and how ACN is impacting your life. So we should never get burned out for doing what we do. In fact, the only way that you get burned out is because you forgot the reason why you're doing what you're doing. So you don't get burned out for what you're doing. You get burned out because you forgot your reason why. I'm telling you, get back to the reason why. Get back to the beauty of ACN. Get back to the real realities of what we have to offer in this company. And I'm telling you, if you stay in that place, I've seen it happen. I've seen people transform their thinking and their minds based upon how you as an individual can interact with them and get on their level and talk about the realities of life. And now what I want to do is I want to take some time right now, and I want to validate what I'm talking about. Can I do that? I want to bring some people up on this stage. I want to bring some people that are living out right now box 9 of the 1 through 10. And just as a reminder, I want to bring people up here that are living that out. How many of you want your residuals to far surpass any bonus that's in the compensation plan? Where you can choose where you want to go, when you want to go. Wouldn't that be an incredible lifestyle to have? Every single person that I'm going to bring up here is living that out. They have fought the fight. They have been in these leadership sessions, and they started just like all of you have started, and they were grateful to be a part of the leadership team in the early stages, and they fought the fight, and now they're living out box 9. I want you to hear from every single one of them today, because this will validate the beauty of our ACN system. And that's how I want to end my session today. So help me to bring up the Diebels, Oren Solomon, Leanne Gabriel, James Adlam, and Franco LoFranco. I know what ACN has done for these folks. I know how it's transformed their lives. I know what ACN means to them. And I wanted you to hear those stories. I wanted you to hear how this residual income machine that they have built, a company within a company with, has impacted their lives. And I think it'll do the very same thing for you if you do what they have done. So let's listen to them. Is that fair enough? Great. Good to be with you all.
Good morning. I'm so excited and passionate about talking about this. I've actually been with ACN for 20 years. And I remember when I got my first residual check, and it was $17. And I also remember some people in my life laughing at me because I was a lawyer, and they're like, why are you so excited about $17? But it just showed me that it worked. And, in the beginning, it was a slow build for me. I mean, when I started, we only had long-distance service. So the bills were not that big. And what happened though, I started making little benchmarks of what it covered. So I remember the first time it covered my phone bill, and I thought, okay, well, this is cool. Now I don't have to ever pay my phone bill in essence for the rest of my life. And then it grew some more. And then I remember it was covering my phone bill and my TV bill. And then it grew some more, and I remember it was covering my phone bill, my TV bill, and my gas and electricity. And then it grew some more, and it was covering my phone bill, my TV bill, my gas and electricity, and my car payment. And then it grew some more, and I remember where I was sitting exactly the first time my residual check years ago covered my mortgage. And I just thought to myself, all these people thought my $17 was so funny, my mortgage is covered now for the rest of my life. But then it grew some more, and it got to the point where it covered all of our living expenses for the month. Then it grew to the point where it covered more than our living expenses for the month. And if you really want to understand the power of this, what's crazy is when it grows some more. And I remember the first check I got when I thought, oh my gosh, the one residual that month covered my mortgage for the entire year. And so what I want to tell you is your residual, look, I'm just an example of time. Your residual will grow, and don't judge what you are doing and how successful you are based on the residual you get today. Because if you keep doing it, it will get to a point where it will blow your mind. Just think for a minute if you got up in the morning and you had a residual check that just took care of everything for the year. What would that be in terms of how would you live? So I'll share one thing very personally. You know, for me, it's now about other people. And one of the great things that we get to do this summer, I'm so excited, is my husband's having a big birthday. I don't think I'm supposed to say which one it is, but anyway, my husband's having a big birthday this summer, and we were talking about what would be a great memory for him and a great thing for his family. So for his birthday this summer, we rented a home right on the beach. I mean, literally on the beach. So you open the door, and there's the sand, and there's the ocean. And then we bought plane tickets for everybody in his family. And we got a place big enough to hold the entire, and we said, all you have to do is get to this airport on this day and come stay with us for 10 days. And to be able to create that memory, not only for my husband, but really, for his father, for his brother, because for those of you who've ever lost somebody in your family or lost a parent, you know that there's certain times in life you'll cherish that you've had. So I want to create that for his family, and to have the blessing of doing that and not even have it dent your lifestyle is something that is so worth fighting for. Would you agree? So now, my mission in ACN is to duplicate this, and it's been really exciting in our team. It's not just, me. I mean, we have Platinum Regional Vice Presidents Deborah MacGyver and Jennifer MacGyver-Ross are making a platinum check every month, and Platinum Regional Vice Presidents Matt and Cindy and Kyle Williams are getting a platinum check every month, and now one of my really close friends, Nancy Holzman, became an RVP in under a year and is working on her platinum status, and we're just going to keep doing this and doing this, so you just got to stay in the game. Look, I've been around for 20 years, but here's what I can tell you. Not only is the money there, and the money's pretty fantastic, and it's a crazy way to live, but you will fall in love with creating a lifestyle like this for other people. So think about where you're going, not about where you are today. Is that fair? Thank you so much for this morning.
Really good. What did you guys think? Isn't that something? And the compensation plan changed because there was a big hole in it between ETL and RD. It filled the hole so we can get there easier. It won't take the time period. But, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting time. It's going to be a very interesting time. And sometimes you're at the right place at the right time, like Beyonce was. Beyonce, I saw a video of her when she went to her first Michael Jackson concert. She said after the concert, that's what she wanted to do. She went to one Michael Jackson concert. That's what she wanted to do. Okay, so hopefully this helped you some degree to put your why. Your why is different than mine and Al's and Joe's and Harry's and Bob and Sam's. Come up with your why. It is small now. Make it bigger, have a big one, and have a lot of little ones in the middle. It's going to change on you. It's going to change because things are going to happen really, really fast. So I'd like to thank everybody for putting up with me today. I hope it gives you a snapshot of what the future looks like. The future is bright. It's bright. We have 1/2 of 1% of the market. Everybody don't know about ACN. They can't. 65,000 people turn 18 every day. 65,000. They never heard of ACN. What's that? What's that? Okay. Okay. So thank y'all very much. That takes care of me for today. Al, is all yours.
Wow, I love it, man. I love the analogy of Michael Jackson. I love the analogy of selling the stadium out, 100,000 people Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. Over 400,000 people maxed out the stadium. The man/woman in the mirror. Folks, he said it all. It's up to you. This is look, we're in the second week of a brand new month, a brand new year. The title is Jumpstart January.